Hello, this is Gabe from GabeSGoneGaming. Today we are going to be playing SnowRunner. I'm going to be starting up a new game plus with some custom rules. So the first one we'll be going through is basically a random scout. And we're also going to be starting with one random highway vehicle. There's going to be no changes on rank or currency because of how I'm going to have things set up. $25,000 starting cash. All vehicles will just have default. No DLC vehicles will be starting with. So basically, we have to either buy them or find them if we want DLC trucks. Pricing rules will be at default. Selling, however, is going to be at 50%. No changes on storage. No changes on trailer. We're also not going to be changing the store rules. However, the pricing rules, was it pricing? No. Those are also with default. But selling trailers will be at a 50% price as well. No changes on the add-ons. So basically that makes it to where your level still actually applies on your driver level, and you having to find your upgrades. So fuel pricing, really weird in my opinion. Default to me would be normal, but default in this case for New Game Plus is actually paid because it goes off of hard mode rules in that case. Repair, no auto repair, and then no auto part restock. For refueling, also unavailable. It will not auto refill your vehicles at the garage. No changes on those. However, truck recovery is going to be at 6 times. So if I get in a situation where I have to recover, it's going to be expensive, but it's not locking me out from being able to. No changes on the contract payout, but just to help cut down on some of the money grind that may happen, we're doing 300% money rewards on that. And then to help encourage loading my own cargo, we have to pay for getting stuff loaded. Let's see, no changes there, no changes on traveling between regions. I've been on the fence about that one. Basically, I'd rather have more freedom to just pick and choose which maps I go to instead of having to pay to travel between regions. The only other setting I'm going to be changing is the time settings. So, there it goes. Nope. Oh, yeah. There we go. So, more than once have I accidentally changed the time of day on the map menu. Not a fan of that, so I just turned that off. So, I will be doing this on this slot right here. I am trying out another save on slot 1. Slot 3 is going to turn into a test save. And then slot 4 is just the personal, I play through the game. So, there is that. Now, when this pops in, I'm going to try and stick with whatever vehicle I end up starting with. Let's see, Rezavani, I believe is how you pronounce that. Not my favorite, not the worst thing. But we do have all-wheel drive and diff lock, and those are already switchable. Again, can't really upgrade anything until I find things. But DLC parts like the special gearbox that you see here is an option. So, let's see. We're going to just take a quick look, see what I have available, see what I don't have. I do have the JAT DLC, so I can technically upgrade my tires if I use the DLC ones. Certain trucks I might do that with, some I probably won't, it just depends. Looks like that's auto unlocked. That could be handy. Not sure why that's auto unlocked, the autonomous. So, for reference, it's been about 6 months since I've last properly played this game, so I don't really remember what is what. Let's see, looks like there's a repair kit and fuel. So not too much, not too little. let's take a look at the other truck. So, not a fan. This is the highway truck I will be using for a while. Of course, I will have the Fleet Star, which is right outside of Michigan, but I don't want to pay for repairs. So, for reference, recovering a scout vehicle is going to be $12,000, give or take a little bit, right around there, if I am remembering correctly. So, starting from just the scout cost, you're looking at even more expensive the higher up we go. Hence why we're starting with the $25,000 right there. So it looks like I'm a fan of the all-wheel drive, but I think I would have preferred diff lock. Not sure what raising this would ever help you with. And of course, some stuff's going to be available, some stuff's not. DLC vehicles, I don't fully understand the difference between raised suspension on this one and raised suspension on the other one. But as you see, that one needs rank 16. So I still will have to rank up to get certain things. So that is going to be a thing. So, looks like it just starts off with the normal highway tires, which does make sense. We have the all-terrains, off-road. Let's see. Spare tire. Okay. Interesting. I have to buy all-wheel drive. I might do that just because that's the only advantage it really has. So. Interesting. The other advantage is this would make a good vehicle with the high or low saddle because of the position. They're both free, so can I do that with the crane? No. What about low with the crane? Also no. So, that tells me a lot right there. So, let's do that. How much is these? Let's see. Repair parts in the back, fuel on top. Sounds good. But before I spend money, let's double check the store. So, of course, default pricing on everything. The CK is only 11, which is a plus. I've heard that one got an update. Now, I do have 2 mods enabled. I can show you what they are with the preview option. First one's this one here. Basically, to the little scout CR-GO from the Expeditions game. And then if I go over to, let's see, the Loadstar, go down to here, it is the tow truck bed that you see right there. Give me 1 second, I can bring up the name of the file. Ooh, we are looking for... Let's see. NKD CR-GO Drone, and then the other one is the Pog Loadstar Tow Bed, which, by the way, works on the F750 as well. So, those are the only 2 mods that I have enabled. I do not count DLC as mods because it's kind of paid for, or however the developers have those set. I've heard that one's had some changes too since I've last played. It has been a while. Of course, default settings means I have to find or move different to a different region for me to get most of this stuff. So, simultaneously a fan and at the same time kind of on the fence, but I'm okay with it. I'd rather unlock the vehicles and actually have some level of what feels like progression versus none at all. Okay. That one I will be finding on the first map in Michigan. I remember that much. So, since we started off with the highway truck, looks like we got this one. That leaves 1, 2, 6 more to go. So, I did try this one on my first save slot that I had. I'm actually impressed with what it's doing. But of course, still limited by the fact that it is a highway truck. So, the only one that I will probably end up using throughout the whole game is this one right here. But I'm not gonna, well, obviously I can't buy it because I haven't found it yet. But I will most likely be using this one throughout the entire game. That's just how I like to do things. So, let us start off. Suspension, I can get that one. The default tires for some of the DLC trucks are actually really decent. In some cases you want to change them, and in some cases you don't. Let's see, 37s to 39s. Let's just leave those all alone. So, give me 1 second. Click there, click back. All right. I am going to buy this because it's letting me. I'm going to sell that. Fuel or parts? Let's hold off until I do a couple of jobs first and see. So, let's just see what types we have. Okay. So, personal favorite color? Black. I'm okay with like a gray or a silver as well. Not a fan of white. And for some reason, multicolored designs like this personally are like a weird pet peeve of mine. So I'm going to go with a solid color. And again, that will be the black that I just changed it to, at least for now. I may or may not change it later. This is a Scout. I don't think I need to upgrade the engine probably at all. Unless I happen to either be pulling a trailer, which I don't think this one can if I remember right. Or if I'm pulling something with the winch. I'll hold off on that. Hold off on that. We will see what I can do with this. Just leaving it at stock. Because, again, I need to take that into account. So, I should probably get that, but let's hold off for now. Alright. So I might do a few scout jobs, but my primary objective to begin with is going to be getting all of the Michigan watchtowers on this map. So, one job leads me over to this one. I'll have to turn around because there's a water crossing right there. So, I have tried using my controller with my steering wheel. It does not work. The controller overrides whatever the steering wheel does, and it freaks out the whole system. So, I apologize for any spontaneous, sudden mouse movements. Okay, looks like the special has a high gear and a low gear, and that is it. So, I don't believe this truck has trailer hitch. Nope, no trailer hitch. So I kind of already had a feeling about that. Let's see. I am, however, going to snag this one. That is the Fleet Star. Get you. You. Okay. And that should do it. Interesting. This has 8 gears. That actually kind of scares me because I'm not a fan of going fast in scouts. Sadly, this game does not allow you to do a price reduction on selling back parts. So that would be your parts and tires, any upgrades for the vehicle that you might do. If it did, I would do it. And it would be a 50% decrease. You can kind of think of this as a base game, except I have to pay for gas and parts for repairs. Otherwise, I'm more of the, what would you say? Not quite hard mode, but still challenging. And then just to make things easier, that's why I had the contest part of things have the higher payout. But I did not change the main missions, which is where you'll be making most of your money. Alright. There we go. This is actually pretty efficient. Alright. Except that goes there. Start tracking. Close. I am not actually going to go to that one first. I am going to go to this one over here. I'll most likely need a snorkel to get that small little farm truck out. Now, let's see here. Alright. So for starting vehicles, I was hoping for, like, you know, the Loadstar or something. Because the only way to obtain that one, despite it being a base game truck, is to buy it. And I am aiming to obtain, on this playthrough, the All-American Challenge, where you have to own every American-based vehicle. Now, that's just one of my objectives with this. I am also aiming to get all vehicles purchased and basically 100% completion. So, in the end, we will see exactly how far I make it. There we go. That was not too bad, considering I was in two-wheel drive the whole time. Now the real question, can I get out? There we go. I am going to cut this way. Now, if I remember right, the more times you drive over something, the more torn up the ground gets, basically. Meaning the harder it is to drive on that surface. Now, each time you reload, your tire tracks and stuff will disappear. Alright. There's that. It's not the direction I want to go in. Alright. Can I? Mm-hmm. There we go. So it looks like I do need a tire upgrade for this. So we'll see how well that goes in a bit. Is it here? No, I think it was a little bit further. So yes, I do have a steering wheel, pedals, and a shifter. I do eventually plan on playing other games, most of them will probably be revolving around the usage of it. There we go. Come on. I will leave all-wheel drive on for a few minutes while I'm going up here. There we go. So, because of my wheel, I do not have easy access to the quick winch. So if I'm going to end up flipping, I will try to use it, but it does not mean I'll have any chance of doing it, let alone actually getting it attached to anything useful. I could probably reroute it to one of my pedals or something, but I'm not going to. There we go. This is fast. So one of my previous personal playthroughs that I've done, I have rolled on that hill. That's actually where I started up the whole I have just enough money to recover at least once routine. I am so used to the plus and minus gears being available that I keep shifting into those positions and it doesn't do anything. Come on. I think could probably do with a little bit more weight. Which means the extra parts might actually be useful. Of course, having different tires would also play a huge role too. But I cannot afford to buy any upgrades yet. And that was actually why I was okay with equipping the saddles, just to see if I could do the crane. Because I have not used that truck before for the highway class. Mainly because of how low everything hangs. If I have used it, it was back when it first came out, and I don't remember using it off the top of my head. And there we go. Not too bad. I think I will do that. And if I remember right, I don't see that. I think, where is it? There it is. Yes, no. I'll just leave it. Go off that, hit you. There we go. I just took a quick screenshot to see. Let's see here. We want this. One of the features I wish this game had was a reverse on the winch, but sadly it does not. Feels like this is being bounced around all over the place. Let's see, I should probably try heading in this direction. what would be an interesting mod and or add-on to this game would be seeing the degrees that which your vehicle's actually facing. So basically how forward or backwards it's tilting, and then how left and right it is tilting. I believe there's some modded test maps that let you check out those types of things, but that's more of a in-game test at that point that's made by a creator, which has nothing wrong with it, but I just haven't checked out any of those yet. I am thinking I might start up a extra save where literally everything's free just to see how different vehicles handle the game. But I'm debating if I'll use any of those actual test maps. Now, yes, it is nice because you can help sort through stuff, but in the end, I think, at least for the time being, I might just do testing on the actual in-game maps. That, or else I'll just have a secondary save where I do the same thing, where one's an in-game map and one's the actual test map. But I'm not sure. Alright. That is something I wish I could disable, was the auto reverse, because I do not like it at all. Now, yes, it's handy on keyboard or controller, but with me having my pedal and I slam on the brake, I'm expecting to stop, and then it goes into reverse. It's not exactly fun. At least I don't think it is. Let us stop for just a second. So, we need that opened up. I should probably, let's see. These three will be easier than these three. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to get these three, and then I'm going to get that bridge fixed. I can do that with the GMC, or at least attempt to. There we go. That could have been dangerous. And we go. Ooh. There we go. I was hoping to have some speed to cut through here, but obviously that failed. There we go. just double check the map. A little hard to see, but I can go to right here. And I'm going to head to that watchtower. Now, if I remember right, even in the tutorial, it has you skip that one. Alright. There we go. So, if I want to skip time in any way, shape, or form, I'll have to either A, deal with it because I can't, or B, it will be done via me basically taking a bit of a break and coming back. So, kind of comes with the territory on how I have my settings done. All right. There we go. Not a fan of this gearbox. I will most likely end up swapping out with either the SnowRunner or something else later. What? It would be cool to have a way to walk around your vehicle in this game, but sadly there is not. I thought there was a camera mode, but I might just be remembering wrong on how to use it. There's this. Let me just double check really quick. I thought there was. Yes, there is. Photo mode. Which means I am just blind. So, okay. Debating if I should increase the strength. Alright, there we go. There. That's where that button is. Oops. Did not mean to hit that a second time. But I do mean to hit it this time. So remember, use your horn to knock stuff down and not your truck. Makes things just a little bit easier. Well, at least if you can remember to do it. Or you get the chance. What? see just how much we have. 26. So we have gained $1,950 since we started, compared to what we started with. Keep in mind, did I buy an upgrade? No, I did not buy an upgrade. I was going to buy an upgrade, then opted not to. Fast little thing. Alright. So kind of hard not to know about the GMC because it is part of the tutorial. Let's see. There's an upgrade there. I will have to obtain all upgrades eventually one way or another. I don't really have much of a choice on that if I want to actually get everything done the way I want them done in terms of vehicle upgrades in the end. Let's see. Flatbed semi-truck. That is, if I remember right, not truck, trailer. If I remember right, that is the low saddle. Up here is where I'm thinking the GMC should be able to make it. Probably. I'll need to get that bridge fixed for me to actually make it there. But what I will do first instead is unlock it, drive off, and get the other two watchtowers on this side. If for some reason it gets stuck or whatever, I will proceed accordingly from there. And then, if it does get stuck, I will return to the garage. And then, since I kind of know how this vehicle works a little bit better, I will make my appropriate purchases for upgrades that I believe I will need. Regardless, I am planning on getting the spare parts and the extra tire and gas. Ooh. That was an unintentional hit that caused damage. There we go. One of the settings in the game, if you transfer via the map, costs 500 credits. I opted not to do that one as well. Again, because if I want to flip-flop vehicles or whatever you want to say, I will still be able to do that. So, it's basically the same logic as why I opted to not have pay between regions for any of the vehicle transfers. Since I'm over here, let's see, it looks like service parts, bricks. So what I should probably do, if I want that GMC to most likely make it, is pick up some beams, load those up, and have that trailer that I missed back there with the preloaded wood. I am not being nice to this thing. Let's see, I just have the one, right? Yes, I have just the one. I believe the Scout 800's also up there too. Ooh. If anyone has answers for me, it might do it, it might not. But the traffic cones in my game always seem to go in and out of existence. Never understood why. So, they glitch in and out. this truck has too much speed for me to be happy with it. Although it is making this a really good watchtower speed run, so to speak. I think I'm gonna go snag the Scout 800 because that'll open up my vehicle options by 1 extra. Come on. It is just right up here. I'm not planning on unlocking every mission that I see, basically activating it. I just don't want to have a bunch of clutter on my screen every time I do a job, and it's leading me in the exact opposite direction on where I'm going. My primary goal is to get all the watchtowers and unlock as many vehicles as possible, along with any of the upgrades. That does not mean, however, I am limiting myself to just that. Come on. Did not mean to turn that off. All right. I'm not sure if the bigger tires will help this or not. In theory, it will. Ugh. I don't remember. Were these already part of the all-terrain or a part of the off-road? There we go. For some reason, I've never liked this road early game. Yeah. So the irony of the plus and a minus is this vehicle does have gas in it. So if I get stuck on something, I can use it to help push me. There it is. Come on, you can do it. The only issue is, I don't know how much it'll actually help. Cool. Made that. Can I make the turn? Yes, I can. Alright. Once I basically get back to the town, I know as a fact this vehicle will be able to make it back to the garage on its own. Or at least it better be. I don't remember if it starts off with all-wheel drive or not. Come on. There we go. Alright, avoid the mud pit. And there's that. Something says once I get a different vehicle, I plan on using that to do most of, to if not all of my recoveries and or obtaining of the free vehicles. So we'll go this way. Never understood that. Now, something I should probably do is check to see if this is in gear now. Because if I remember right, turning on the engine puts it in gear, and then your tow vehicle will only ever go as fast as your vehicle that you're towing. Unless, of course, it's able to really force its way through, so to speak. There we go. Actually, I'll leave that on for a few minutes. There we go. We are basically back to town now. Now, I'm not sure one versus the other, but something tells me I might be using the Scout 800 a little bit more. Whoa. Than the, this one. All right. That should be a little better. Just remember me, release, to stop it from hitting me. Now this is the part where I'm going to switch over to the GMC. And that is because I'm going to see if I can get that bridge rebuilt. That's about the only job I can remember right this second off the top of my head. Now it does have highway tires, which means I'm going to need something heavy to help it. So, gonna sound weird. We're gonna go this way. And we're gonna go buy some beams. I will need those for another job. So, it's not like I'm wasting money. But until I have enough to actually afford buying a crane, this is what I'm gonna have to do anyway. Those beams will help put weight down on those rear axles, which is where all of my power is going to for the time being. I have not decided if I'm going to skip over to the Canola Peninsula in order for me to get the all-wheel drive upgrade for this or not. I only say that because this truck is limited in what it can do until you get that, but I'm not really wanting to waste my time right this minute on getting that one specific upgrade for this vehicle. Awesome. So the success on this job will determine on which direction I go in with the Ravani tank, if I remember what it's called correctly. There we go. Not looking forward to it because I've never taken that trailer up the side road before with this setup. And we made that. That was my first concern. The next catch is I don't believe I can go up the actual road, which is both a plus and a minus, because I believe the road might be steep, but it's mud. But going up the side is also steep, and I run the risk of flipping, because it's not the first time I've done that. Now, I have taken this vehicle up this path before in the past. It's usually with upgraded tires. There we go. That was a whole lot better than I thought it would be. Go through there. Forgot about the upgrade that they had sitting here again. Come on. Which one are you? The Fleet Star. Perfect. Sometimes I wish some of the vehicles had more individual upgrades scattered throughout, but I do know a lot of the key ones, like the gearboxes, are all vehicle limited, or not limited, all basically unlocked for all vehicles, depending on the class of said vehicle. Don't flip. Because I cannot afford to flip right now. Alright, we need to accept. Cool, I remembered that. Awesome. That worked out better than I thought it would. And now we're up to 30, almost 31. Let's cut through this way. There's this. Must be a quest trailer. Let's see here. It's really weird because I remember some of this and then I suddenly don't remember some of this. Gonna sound strange, but I kind of want to see if I can take that side road. Yeah. Ooh. Gouchy. Excellent. Thought I was going to get stuck there for just a second. All right. I do not want to have my cargo disappear. Oh yeah, that's what I can do. Let's sell you. This will be a huge help. Because we need this. If I remember right. Over by the down to power lines. And I think a little bit further up for that bridge. Yeah, road maintenance is kind of a requirement for us to keep going. I should probably check that out. And I believe there's a truck recovery job right over there, too. But I'm not going to worry about those until I am more prepped and ready. Come on. You can do it. Awesome. So there's two types of trailers for what I've just hauled. There's the sideboard bed ones. So their advantage is they seem to be smaller and lighter. They still hold 2 slots. And then there's these ones. Their advantage comes down to the fact that they have 4 sets of tires. And they seem to float on top of stuff a little bit better. But in the end, you're still towing 4 dead axles behind your vehicle. Alright, we want this. Start concrete blocks. Ah, those are back there. That's not too bad. We'll do this. Alright. That is not the one I wanted gone, but I should be fine. Let me... Where does the sounds? Double check. We're gonna pull you out. After we buy you, sell you. Honestly, I don't see how these would play a role when it does not have diff lock. Let's see. This is going to be needed. Uninstall, sell. So the way I see this, we need to get as much ground clearance on this thing as possible. It's only 600. Sell. Stock. Don't understand that thing. That goes down. Interesting. Well, that's about the best we can do. And then, of course, we're going with that. So, we will find out. Let's see. None of these are unlocked. Suspension gets unlocked at rank 16. Let us... That's a spare tire. That can be handy. This is considered a heavy vehicle, but yet it's highway. Interesting combination, by the way. So, we can take full advantage of the fact that even though I do not have the rank, I can buy the higher grade tires. Huh. Let's see. Fours or 43s. It's not really much of a help. I'm being honest. Those are all terrains too. Hmm. Let's just do these. And then sell this. Just get a couple dollars back. Engageable. Low or high. Let's do low because at least I know there's a 5-slot trailer. Can't do you, can't do you, and it's either that or this. I'm gonna stick with this. And that's 12,000. We need to make sure we have enough money to actually do stuff. Alright. What I don't get is why does it have such a big cab when it does not get any options for parts or fuel? That made it a little better, but still. Let's just take a look and see what we got available. Oh, that's cool. I heard this was supposed to become available. I didn't realize it was. I thought it was coming out next. Gooseneck would be nice. I'll probably end up working with this in a bit the most. After I get something that can have a crane on it. So we do have a arrow facing upwards. We're gonna go find out where that is. Ow. Should have seen that coming. Looks like it's just right there. I think with that, all of my vehicles I've started with have officially taken damage. At least once during this playthrough today. I forgot that was even there. Try to limit the all-wheel drive from this. That's what I'll probably end up having to do. There we go. I'd like to say because the GMC made it, this will. Honestly speaking, I have no idea. That went better than I thought it would. Excellent. We will now change over to you. One other key advantage of these flatbed trailers here, other than the tires are both a plus and a minus in my opinion, is the fact this has the extended trailer hitch piece. Which means your trailer will be farther away from the truck, which makes it a whole lot easier when you have stuff overhanging from the edge of the vehicle. Come on. Come on. Just go. Try this idea. So we want this, this. There we go. That's what I was talking about when I said I lost the wrong one. Yep. Traffic cones are going in and out again. It'll be interesting to see if those show up. Ooh. Awesome. Let's do that. Close. Then we'll switch back over to the other one. The Fleet Star, Western Star. Once that is done, I can basically just leave these behind and finish up with those watchtowers without any more road blockages. What will probably end up happening is I'll be loading up the GMC, as weird as that sounds, onto this trailer to drive the whole thing back down and tow back the other one. Something like that, at least. I'm hoping this one's at least a little bit easier, considering that this one at least has all-wheel drive. Come on. Perfect. I believe there's 3 more on this map that we have to get. The all-wheel drive is definitely saving us in this case. I do not remember which one was more heavy, but both loads are considered heavy. All right. One and two. Perfect. We have 3 watchtowers remaining, and I think there's technically 1 more roadblock, but it's easy to drive around them. So we want this. We will refill. Let's take this back to the garage since it's kind of on the way. And we're gonna get the upgrades that it needs. Not, of course, trying to drive off the road. Oh yeah, there's that upgrade in this direction. Alright. Let's go grab that, and then we'll be on our way to the garage. Oops, forgot to check which one that was for. No point in continuing if I flip. If I remember right, the GMC gets its raised suspension on the first map. Not saying that's what it is, but likely. Alright. Customize. That's fine. Keep you for now. We seem to be snagging up on stuff. What are these? These are off-roads. Excellent, excellent, and good. So we'll just go with these. Or should I go with mud? We'll just do this. Don't flip. But I do have enough money to where I'm not concerned about that right this second. Because that's going to be needed to make sure I don't have any future problems. Let's get... Okay, it needs... front bumper add-on. Protects the vehicle from damage. Let's see. Well, take advantage of the fact that those don't cause issues. And we end up with that. So we'll get you. Sure. All right. That confirms that. We want tall. So we'll check this out. Interferes with peace. Does not interfere with. All right. And then again, repairing, that's 1,500. That's not too bad. Not the worst, not the best, but it will survive. Then we will leave. I do not have any gas on this. for the roof rack. That's about the most I can do to help it. We'll go this way. I need to double check and see if returning vehicles to the garage fixes it, but I'm pretty sure I had damage there. Oh, it's because I bought the new suspension and it fixed it. Never mind. And I also bought the other tires, and that fixed it. But I thought I had engine damage. I'll have to double check and see. Can't quite tell from this. Yeah, still can't quite tell from this. So, what I will do, just to make sure, go down to you. Still broken. That is exactly what I wanted to see. Rezavani, I believe is how you say that. We also need that done. Now, if I remember right, you start off with one full load of parts when you buy the piece, but you never get it back after using them. Now, I don't know what the difference is between different types of roof racks or part supplies and whatever else, but some of them include fuel when you buy them for the first time, and then some do not. All right. Oh, yeah. That one is right there, so I actually need to back up. There we go. This is what we're aiming for. I was not actually planning on doing that. There we go. Good thing I just did that. And here I was about to just leave it behind. The autonomous winch has already saved me. Thank you, 9-something thousand. Now let me just double check. The next one is straight ahead up there. Yeah, and then basically for that roadblock, I'm gonna have to have the other two trucks turn around. I think it's the service spare parts. I will swing by it just to make sure. But what will probably end up happening is I will switch back over to the flatbed if I remember right. All right, there we go. Accept, start, back. Yep, service spare parts. I think it's that fifth wheel. The low saddle. One is what we'll need. We'll go this way. Puts me back out to right here. Just remembered, but I think there's an upgrade down below. But does not change anything on my end. There it is. I was really hoping for some sort of lighting mod or whatever, but I couldn't find anything I liked. Awesome. We're basically here because I thought it would have been cool to do a nighttime run. But in the end, this works out just fine. We got that. Careful on the way down. Perfect. there is a cargo job there that I'm not a very big fan of. And if I'm going to do the 100%, I'm going to have to do it. But I remember trying to load it up with the crane, and I completely flipped going down because of how off balance I was. Not here. We want... There we go. This one, if I remember right, was right here. Also seems to give me issues, even though it's probably on one of the flattest surfaces. I was never able to quite find a spot for the truck. And it always threw me for a loop. So, I guess we'll find out later on how well I handle that. Perfect. We'll go this way. That and then that. Guess I could try to pull that trailer out, but this doesn't have a hitch. Which means that's going to be a pain. There we go. Now, selling the free trailers will make me money. But if I have to buy one, it means I lose money. Come on. Let's head this way. There we go. There we go. Leave that there. I highly doubt I can recover that truck that I saw. I believe the Kodiak was on this map. I believe that must be it. If I remember right, it was the Fleet Star and the GMC were the two basically tutorial ones, with the Fleet Star being basically your first all-wheel drive big truck. You usually start off with the CK 1500. And then you find the Scout 800, which works. I am shocked at how fast it's coming out. I am honestly shocked it's made it that far. Something says I'm not getting it out of this. At least not with this vehicle. Ditch it. Same thing with the trailer over there. I will ditch it. Alright, I'm at least gonna get that roadblock dealt with. So we will take you. And that will serve as my reminder to go and get that done.